We've all heard the old expression, I have some good news and some bad news. Which do you want to hear first? And usually we opt for good or bad, which for you. Today, I have something a lot better for you than that. I have some good news and some amazing news. Which do you want to hear first? Well, let me start with the good news. God has worked a miracle through the churches of the West Plains Conference. In your first year of giving, donations have exceeded our expenditures by hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're probably wondering, if that's the good news, what's the amazing news? Well, to set up sharing the amazing news, let me remind you what we did last summer at annual conference. We voted to set aside a $200,000 reserve fund with any surplus, and then any surplus beyond that, we would invest in ministry. Here's the amazing news. We now have $401,000 to invest in ministries. $401,000. Can you believe what God has done? So now, the Connectional Council, which is the leadership team of the conference, has been tasked with bringing recommendations to our annual conference session in June of where we're going to invest that money. This is where we need your help. In next week's conference newsletter, there will be a link to a form where you can submit ideas for ministries. We'll also put it out there on social media to get it out to as many people as possible. Start praying and thinking right now. What could happen in God's kingdom with $401,000? Where could we have the most impact? Imagine the possibilities. How many lives are going to be impacted with the good news of Jesus? Now, if you missed it, my last video a couple of weeks ago, I shared that I'm going to be focusing in these bi-weekly messages this year on our Global Methodist mission statement. Have you got it memorized yet? Making disciples of Jesus Christ who worship passionately, love extravagantly, and witness boldly. These first few months, I'm focusing on the very first phrase, making disciples of Jesus Christ. What does that mean? What is a disciple? Jesus defined a disciple as a follower. In Luke 9:23, he says, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross daily, and follow me. That image that he paints for us is very different from how we talk about followers in our social media world today. Following on social media is kind of a casual connection to someone. I'm interested. Jesus is talking about being sold out to him. We go where he leads. We lay down our agenda and pick up his. We deny self rather than elevating self like our culture is currently doing. Here's the exciting part. When we choose to follow Jesus, he promises life, real life, super abundant life. When we begin to walk in that, the world is going to notice and people's lives are going to be impacted. God will begin to make other disciples through us. So here's my dream for one of these videos 1 year from now. I would start out with this line. I've got some good news and some amazing news. The good news is in 2024, the people in churches of the West Plains Conference discovered what following Jesus really looks like and began to go in some exciting new directions where he was leading us. And the amazing news is hundreds of people came to know Christ as a result, and our churches experienced revival in the midst of that new following and those new paths. What if that were our reality 1 year from right now? It all starts today with each one of us with a simple decision. Will I follow where Jesus is leading me today?